What is going on, guys? Back with another video. Hope you've been doing well. We do have another build today. I don't know if you remember, but a couple weeks ago, if not a month ago, we did a full rebuild on this JB QAV-S, and you would not believe it, but we blew the ESC already. Probably only lasted around 12 packs, so we're going to get that changed out today. It should be a nice and easy install, and we'll just get right into it. So for those of you who don't know, originally this quad had an iFlight ESC. It was their 45 amp ESC, and then we switched out for this Hobbywing 65 amp. This also went, and I just wasn't sure what direction I wanted to go. So I took a poll between my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and collectively everyone pretty much said that they are running SpeedyBee ESCs and components. Not T-Motor, not iFlight, not GepRC, not Acon, SpeedyBee. So this will be my first SpeedyBee ESC. I did get it off AliExpress, and to my surprise, it was only $35. For comparison, this ESC runs for about $100. So my hopes are high. This came highly recommended, and we're just gonna see how it holds up. So I don't even really need to do an unboxing for this. It's more of an unbagging. Like I said, it did come from AliExpress. And if the listing is still up by the time I post this and I recommend it, I will put it in the description, because $35 for an ESC in 2026 is kind of crazy. So we have it right here. As you can see, this is the SpeedyBee 55 amp. I believe it's the V4 or V3. I'll put it up on the screen which one. But yeah, we'll get this installed in the quad right away. So the two little things I am going to have to do is I am going to switch out these black gummies onto the SpeedyBee, and then I also have to make up a wiring harness to go from the SpeedyBee ESC into the Hobbywing flight controller, because we are going to keep that. Then in order to make the wiring harness, we're going to look at the bottom of the ESC. So that gives us our pinout right here. So we have negative, positive, motor 1, 2, 3, 4, C, and then T. And then for our flight controller side, we grab our manual. And you can see right here, they give our pinout for the flight controller side. So positive, ground, C, T, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will match the ESC side up to the flight controller side and make us a little wiring harness. So in order to make this wiring harness, what I'm going to do is take the wiring harness I already had for the flight controller and ESC, because I know it works on the flight controller side. I know I have my positive, ground, C, and then this old ESC didn't have a telemetry output. So what I'm going to do is unpin the ESC side, and then I'll be able to put a wire into the flight controller for that telemetry, and then I will put it all in the correct order. So let's get that taken care of right now. If you've never done this before, it is a little bit of a pain to get at first. So what you're gonna wanna do is, you see these little latches right around there? You're gonna wanna take your fine tip tweezers, get it underneath the latch, and then just carefully lift up, and then you want to pull the wire out gently. Don't lift up too hard, because you don't want to break the latches, but just give it a slight little lift, pull the wire out, and then you'll be able to get it taken out. Just be careful, don't pull too hard, have some patience, and you could get it taken care of. Okay, so wiring harness is made up. As you can see, our C and our T now cross over to the end for the ESC side. Super simple. If you want a full tutorial on how to do this, look up a Joshua Bardwell or a Caddx FPV repinning a JST connector. It's simple, just take your time. It's not impossible, but they have very detailed videos on how to get it taken care of. So next what I'm going to do is drop the ESC in. I will get the pads tinned up and then I will get the motor soldered on. Alright, so we are back after two little bumps in the road. Bump number one was originally I was using the through holes on the ESC for the capacitor, but that wasn't going to allow our flight controllers to drop down. So I relocated the capacitor down behind the camera and then just ran two wires down to the pads for the ESC. So the capacitor is good now. Second little bump was the wiring harness that I originally made for the flight controller to the ESC was just a little too short. So I went ahead and made a new one. That's all plugged in and now we are good for a first start. Smoke stopper plugged in as always. And we are good. Alright, just like that, the ESC is in the quad. I'm gonna go ahead and get my top plate put on and then I'm just gonna get outside and start flying. So like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this ESC is $35 and I'm used to running ESCs that usually cost around $90 to $100. So expectations, I really didn't know what to expect going into this. In the past, I have used lower cost ESCs and honestly they were underpowered. So since then I lean more towards, you get what you pay for, and high dollar usually means a better product. But in the case of this SpeedyBee ESC, I'm impressed. First flight, I honestly am impressed. And don't get me wrong, I didn't go into this expecting a bad quality product. Like, I didn't expect the motors to just not run smooth or anything right off the bat. But I was just, I had my expectations low because I am used to running higher cost ESCs. And honestly, this first flight, you could see I'm doing all of my normal maneuvers, and this is with a stock beta flight tune. Maybe I am so impressed by this product because my expectations were low because of the cost, but honestly, after this first flight, I can say I hope this ESC lasts me 3, 4, 5 months, a year. If it lasts me 3 months, I can say I will buy another one just to have as a spare or to put into another quad because it's running smooth. I don't feel anything underpowered, and at this price point, it's worth having, even if it lasts me 3 months at this price compared to a $90 ESC that lasts 12 flights. I'll take it. And I did a couple full throttle punches, I did a couple power loops. I didn't really go too crazy because it is the first flight, but I didn't get any breakups, I didn't get anything weird, no weird sounds. The quad was just smooth. Like, you couldn't tell me that this was a budget ESC in this quad. See, that was one of the short full throttle punches, and the quad was smooth, no breakups. There is a little bit of prop wash, but again, I wiped the tune and just started fresh, and when I have a little bit of time, I will go in and retune this quad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue to fly this quad, and I'm gonna give you guys an update in hopefully 3 months. If it blows up next week, you will know next week that the ESC blew up, but hopefully 3 months down the line I can give you a new video updating you on my current feelings of the ESC, and hopefully in that video I tell you, yeah, I love this ESC, I bought 3 more of them, because if it flies like this day one, I hope it continues to fly like this. So I will leave you guys with the rest of the video of me testing this ESC out and just flopping around the backyard. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below for me and I will get back to you. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.